guys, welcome back to the channel. We're back in Porto Antico in Molo Vecchio in Italy, and we're looking at Nirvana again. I'm not going to go over the same boat again, but I just wanted to briefly mention something that came up in the comments on the last video and actually comes up quite frequently, and it's about rat guards. Interesting comment. But one of the things that they do, if you can see this here, one of the things they do is they put these circular discs on here, because what happens is when they dock the boat, the rats will come along and they'll run right up the lines and right onto the boat, and the last thing you want is rats, right? So we put these discs on, and not all boats do it, but we put these discs on and it stops the rats from coming on board. So we don't want any stowaways. So there's a couple of new boats in. We're going to go down and have a look now. And I'm going to show you the difference. This is one of the things I often say is when I can tell that a boat is just laid up, or if it's getting ready for charter or it's on charter, and it's quite obvious when you see them next to each other. And I'll go and show you that now. So let's go. It's actually quite early in the morning. Yeah, if I look tired, it's because I am. Tough day yesterday, and yeah, now I'm going to film. I'm actually officially on leave from today. Watched my boat leave earlier from another marina, which was always a strange thing to see, because it's like you feel like you've missed it, even though you know you're not on it because you're leaving. You always feel like you've missed it. As I don't have any footage, I mean, obviously I can't show you the footage of my boat leaving, so I'm going to put this boat in instead, so you can kind of see what it's like to watch a boat leave. I'm sure I've done plenty of them before in the past, but it just, I don't know, it looks better than me just waffling on about it. But it's really a weird feeling when your boat leaves. Interestingly, my missus, whenever I send her a video footage, or when we're in a port and a cruise ship leaves, because she worked on cruise ships, she often says that she feels like she's missed the boat. So it's quite interesting that no matter how long it is since you've worked on them, you always get these feelings. It's quite strange. Anyway, moving on. On Nirvana here, you see that they're plumbed into the electrics, and they've got their converter here. So they use a 3-phase 400 volt, and the marina has to adapt and use this converter. It's all wrapped in a plastic bag to prevent it from getting damaged electricity and water and all that. So you see the cable running off onto the boat, and going inside there, and that means they don't have to run the generators. And then they've got a fresh water line here. Alright, I hope you can hear me. It's a bit windy here today, so if it's any noise coming through, I apologise for that in advance. This is Motor Yacht Joy, and I featured this vessel on my channel before. This is a fed ship. It's a 70-meter fed ship. It's quite an interesting design. If you notice, it's very, very open. The outside decks. One of the things I see a lot of, one of the complaints I see a lot in the comments is there's not enough outside deck. On most yachts, it kind of looks that way. It's perception, really. But this one has massive clearances between each deck, and that gives I would imagine when you're in those areas that it will really change the way it feels, make it feel much more open than the regular vessel. If you look at the vessel that's next to it, and you look at the height between the deck above there and the gangway when it comes in, you can see, and look at Joy, the gap between the deck and the above deck is much greater, and that really gives that appearance of really open feel. Check out that spiral staircase. So if you look on the aft section there of Joy, you see all the cushions piled up. This is common on the super yacht when there's nobody on board and there's no guests on board, because the cushions obviously can get wet. So they all get put into a storage area, usually inside the main deck. They put towels down, drop cloths down, and they put them all inside to keep them from the elements. And that's one of the obvious reasons you can tell everything's covered in canvas. And this is a good way of being able to tell if a boat is, if there's any guests on. They would never do this if there was guests on board. And I'm going to show you another boat in a second, which is next to it. and you'll see the difference. Here's the motor-yacht Bodacilla, and she's dressed up. Obviously she's got guests on. This is a very popular charter boat. It's a 76 meter or 250 feet charter boat. It's quite old actually. It was originally called Reborn. So Bodacilla has 290,000 litre fuel tanks, and she has a range of 5,000 nautical miles. When I show you the boat side by side, it's quite obvious, right? That one of them's ready for guests and one of them isn't. But that looks great. The Italian water polo team Pro Reco have chartered the boat. So yeah, I just saw them all coming on board with the matching t-shirts I mentioned earlier. I didn't know what the t-shirt said at the time, but I just googled this. I have no idea, but I just googled it, and it says that they're a water polo team and they've chartered Bodacilla. So I have a feeling it might be leaving soon, so I'm hanging around like a stalker to see if they do leave so I can film it. So if you want to hire Bodacilla, she is in the summer season. She's 580,000 euros a week, or that's approximately $659,000 a week. So yeah, so you got to have some cash to hire it. In the winter season, it's slightly less. No, it's not. In the low season, it says low season, 525,000 euros, or $596,000. This guy's got the worst job. Look. Oh. One of the things you might be able to see on Joy, if I move around this way, if you look on the bow over here, you can see they've got a basketball court. So I think it's just a single hoop, and yeah, but they've got it up there with the net around it so they don't lose the ball. That's quite cool. You don't see that very often. And one other thing I've noticed about Joy is they're doing something weird with the AIS. So the AIS, as you know, is something that broadcasts on VHF to tell other boats, other vessels in the area where they are, right? You can basically do a very slow update. So basically they can do static updates. I don't really understand even why that system is allowed to be in service, but basically it means that they every now and then they can change their location manually, and they can show them to be in a position that they're not in. I don't know. The only reason why I can think that you'd want this is because you're super private and you don't want people to know where your location is. However, if you get in trouble and you call out a distress, and the search and rescue look at the signal for AIS to try and figure out where you are, they could go to the wrong location. Now I have a good example of this right now. You can see Joy's right behind me here, and I just looked on my phone. I'll put a screen grab on here. It shows the position of Joy to be still outside before they came in, where they were yesterday when they were recovering their tender, I believe. I saw them outside and they were recovering the tender, and it still shows them as being there. But when they were there yesterday, when they were physically there yesterday, the AIS was not showing them as being there at all. Only the tender's AIS were broadcasting. It's all great when you're thinking about your privacy, but when you're in trouble and you need search and rescue to come and get you, then it's another story. It's a 991.2 Targa 911 Targa 4 GTS. This is the GTS 4-wheel drive Targa, and it's the 991.2 911. There's a lot of numbers there, but if you're a Porsche guy, you'll understand that. So I have a feeling one of the boats is leaving. This guy's coming. He's trying to undo some of the lines. So I have a feeling the boat next to Joy is leaving. So if it does, then we'll film it. Get a prop foul. For a yacht, that's a big problem. If you get a line wrapped around your propeller, it can cause lots of problems. He's just able to just lift it out the water and untangle it. In the next few days I'm going to film I'm going to go to some different places. Hopefully I'm going to go down to Monaco, film in Monaco, and so yeah, so keep watching, and I'll be posting those videos in the next week or so. Alright guys, so take it easy, leave a comment below if you know anything about this water polo team, because I don't know anything about it. But let me know in the comments, and yeah, see you next time. Alright guys, bye.